Hi guys, it's Laura from Sheer Passion. I just wanted to reach out to you this week and send you a video to encourage you to understand how easy it is to get stuck in the okay box of life and to not really get out of that unless something really intentional comes along, like trouble or an opportunity. Let me say thank you for understanding that when I say these things that I only want to encourage you and I want to tell you where I'm coming from so that you can understand how I see my spirituality, how I see the Lord involved in all of this, and why I believe that the devil is slowly creeping into the family, not because it says it in scripture and not because that it's going to come true because it's God's word, but because of those things plus my experience seeing the Lord work in my life and understanding that nothing that I'm going through was something that I was doing on purpose, but things that creep into my life because God was trying to explain to us so many things in the Old Testament and the New Testament about how people are not living intentionally, not really giving things over to the Lord. And a lot of times we don't even know how to do that because there's so many different facets in our life. And I wanted to share with you that over the last couple of years of my life, I've been stuck in that okay box. I'm okay at a lot of things, which okay keeps you out of trouble. Okay keeps you out of jail. Okay keeps keeps you from people. Gosh, my mouth isn't working tonight. I don't get in large amounts of trouble because I'm okay at most things. I'm great at other things. I'm terrible at some things, but usually that's like athletic stuff, and we could all get better at things, right? So the okay box is something that I've been in with money. Let me share with you that money is compounding. There are so many people hurting with money, and we are so afraid to tell each other because we really do not have the community mentality that it does take a community to raise a child. So when you're born into a home and your parents may or may not be good with money, that we could all be better. You know that I was in a dangerous okay box with money. I've been okay. And so okay doesn't say be better. And okay doesn't get you in trouble. So I resided there for a long time. And I want to say that I'm sorry for being a woman in your community who has a business and it's small. And I like that. And I love my job and I love working on men and women and their families and helping you look your best, feel your best, understand your style. I am sorry that I reside in that okay box. You know what? It does not hurt for a woman of faith to get up during the day and say, how can I be better at something? And the thing with money is that because there's such a stigma of shame that if we don't make a lot or we make a little, that somehow we are letting each other down. I want to tell you something about money. It is not going to beat me. It is not going to be the thing that takes me down. Is it not the thing in society right now that so many people are talking about and so many people are jabbing one another about, and yet these jabs have not become helpful? No, because they're not intentional to tell you and I to get better at something. I wanted to come on here and encourage you that it does not matter how big or how overwhelming, it does take us asking for help. It does take us being intentional to walk towards someone and say, am I doing this well? Can I be better? You know, I am very proud about what we haven't done with our money over the last couple of years as a husband and wife. And I am very proud to tell you that even the mistakes that we have made, we are taking full accountability for them and we are trying to get better. We don't want to let you down. We don't want to let ourselves down. And we want to show people that when you have faith in the Lord, there are so many things that we can do with Him because He wants to see us through. Being refined in this box of, you know what was the problem with me getting up and saying, Laura, it is fine that you are okay. Why are you not being intentional to be better? Well, I'd have to tell you that I suffer from some form of arrogance, that I don't need to change things that are okay. They're fine. You can let them alone. No, I want to be the woman that says it's okay to be better. You know, I have been so intentional with my health. I have been so intentional with how I look and how I feel. And I let myself down when it came time to be an intentional woman about her money. I needed to be more intentional in business. And I needed to be more intentional in my marriage. And the way that I am a more intentional businesswoman who happens to be married is that I'm more intentional as a female on her knees. I need to be asking the Lord where I need to be refined and where I need to be better. And I will tell you that on some level of disappointment, I thought I was already there, but that would be arrogance setting in. It's okay to continually ask if I'm doing something well and can I be better at it. It's okay to intentionally understand what a dollar does and how to be on a budget. It is okay to continually go to work and to work hard and to make money, but it is not okay to let money just be okay. And it is not okay to just go to work and not understand how that dollar is working for you. And the one thing that we are doing as a couple is learning to understand that money is not scary. It may be scary in the beginning, but it doesn't need to stay scary. Let me encourage you by saying it's okay to be intentional. It's okay to think, hey, how can I be better? Where am I going to get better? How can I be better? Should I be better? What does better look like? Where do I start? It can be overwhelming, but it doesn't need to be. If you feel overwhelmed, then you realize that you're coming from a place of ignorance, which means you hadn't been taught, you didn't even know. That can be scary and embarrassing because the older that we get, we think we do know. No, we don't know anything we haven't been taught or we haven't gone to seek out, but it doesn't mean that we can't. And that's the difference. That's the encouragement right there. Our brains that God has given us and our bodies that God has given us, there are some of us that are out there that are elderly, that are children, or that are sickly. And then the rest of us make up for that as a community and as a society. But I want to let you know that my husband and I have been given the gift of health, and we still have youth on our side, so we have no excuses. And one of the things that has been redeeming in this relationship, because we have faced this and owned it, is how quickly we've been able to turn things around. I am sad that we made the mistake, but I've also learned until I would have been pushed out of the okay box, there would have never been a reason for me to get better and to be more intentional. I am allowing God to refine me in this moment to make me one of those women that people will come alongside of and say, Laura, how did you do this and why? And that is the journey that I'm on. And as painful as it is, I will let you know that the reward spiritually and the reward emotionally, financially, and physically that is now in my body, because I've had to be intentional to not get stuck in the okay box, leads clearly back to the scriptures. And the Lord has been showing me in 1st and 2nd Thessalonians, in Hebrews, in Song of Solomon, in Psalms, in Ecclesiastes, in Corinthians, that these are things that many people suffered from, and that we are not to be negligent. We are not to be lazy. We are not to be ignorant. We are not to be quiet. We are to ask questions. We are to get up. We are to be better. We are to get out there and say, I'm intentional with this and with all things, and I can do all things with the Lord. You know, and the crazy part about not being in church throughout the week, but living your life according to God's will, doesn't mean that I can't be a hairstylist. It doesn't mean that I can't have fun with my clients. It doesn't mean any of those things. But I will tell you that when you understand everything you are doing unto the Lord, it doesn't mean that the Lord won't allow me to have wealth in my life or to never have these situations again. But He will continually hold me to accountability. That if I'm going to be better at money, then I have to understand all sides of money. And while I start to research all sides, I can clearly see how the devil can get in and tear down the family structure. And just by enough silence each year, each decade, that people aren't genuinely seeking out help and finding accountability in their community, how our deficit is continually growing. The debt is at the top, the debt is at the bottom, and the debt is at the middle. And then we have each one of us part of a family structure, not always seeing or sensing the help that we need. Let me encourage you that you are not alone. We are all dealing with that. And I'm sorry that we are not talking about it in a way that makes you feel comfortable or makes you even think you can connect to changing. I will tell you we can all change. We are not broken, and money does not need to break us. We can be better. God can see us through all things. That doesn't mean that our life won't have to change. There may be some changes that we have to make, but let me encourage you that nothing is more important than you. Face those fearful situations and be better tomorrow. I'll tell you, it has been absolutely phenomenal. I want to leave you with that. Check into the blog, Sheer Passion to blog at blogspot.com, SHEER. PASSION, the number 2, blog at blogspot.com. Thanks so much, guys. See you next time.